this song for my family, and I'm going to share it with you and teach you how to play it. A special thank you to Enya Music for sponsoring this video, and let's get started. Let's start with the Travis picking pattern that I use throughout this entire piece, and then I'm going to teach you where to place your fingers on your chording hand. Let's assign some fingers some strings, or give each finger a home base. My thumb is going to be in charge of the G string and the C string, so these two strings right here. My index finger will always pluck the E string, and my middle finger will always pluck the A string. G, C, E, A. Now, to remember the order of this finger picking pattern, I came up with a saying, and it's pluck, in, out, in, pluck, in, out, in. Now, when I say pluck, what I mean is that my thumb and my middle finger, they're going to pluck the G and the A strings together. That's the first count. And then we have the in, out, in. So in, I'm referring to the two inner strings right here. And then out, I'm referring to the two outer strings right here. So in, the first, after we do the pluck, my thumb is going to bounce here from the G string to the C string. So we have together, thumb, index, in. All right, let's try that together. Together, in. Now we have out. My thumb is going to bounce back to the G string, and then I'm going to pluck the G string and the A string. So let's start from the beginning, from pluck. Here we go. Pluck, in, out, and then we go back to the in. Okay, let's try that together. 1 and 2, E and pluck, in, out, in. All right, let's try that one more time. Here we go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a pluck, in, out, in, pluck, in, out, in. This is what the A section is going to sound like. All right, so we're going to go over this slowly. So first I'm going to be taking my focus fox, fingers 2 and 3 on my chording hand. I'm going to be placing them on the 3rd fret of the G string and the 3rd fret of the E string. And then I'm going to be using the same finger picking pattern that I had taught you previously. The pluck, in, out, in, pluck, in, out, in. So it looks like this. Like that. So I'm going to be playing that for 2 measures. So each pluck, in, out, in is going to be equal to 2 counts. So I have to play that finger picking pattern twice to complete a measure, or 4 counts. Okay, so let's try that. Together, in, out, in, pluck, in, out, here we go. Pluck, in, out, in, pluck, in, out, in, again. In, out, in, pluck, in, out, in. Now we move on to an F chord. And we're going to be playing the same finger picking pattern that we had previously played. So it's going to be consistent throughout the entire song. So that's really fun. So we have our together, in, out, in, together, in, out, in, together, in, out, in. Now here, to complete that finger picking pattern cycle, I'm going to be playing the same F chord, but now I'm going to be adding my pinky to the 3rd fret of the A string. This next section is really similar to the previous one, where I have that same chord where I have 3, 0, 3, 0, and the same finger picking pattern. So it starts off very similarly to the very beginning. We have 3, 0, 3, 0, and I have that for a finger picking pattern. Now my pinky is going to be placed on the 5th fret right here of the A string. finger picking cycle. And then I bring my pinky to the 3rd fret and I complete the finger picking cycle. Then I have my F chord. Now my pinky is going to be placed on the 3rd fret of the A string to complete the cycle. So it's going to sound like this. 1 and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E, 5th fret, 3rd fret, F, ready, 3rd fret, here it comes. And then it repeats itself. So we have the now from here, I have 3 different F chord variations. So here we have our F chord down here, should be familiar, down, down, up. Now from here you could use this F chord, or I like to use this one, like this. So you could have either one, that's the 3rd fret and the 5th fret. And then from here, I have this bar chord variation, so I'm barring the 8th fret. My ring finger is on the 10th fret of the G string, and then my middle finger is going to be on the 9th fret of the C string. You could use a truncated version if you'd like to, but the next portion, you're gonna need it. That bar chord right there. Now from here, you're gonna start finger picking again. So 1 finger picking pattern cycle right there. Now I am going to lift off my ring finger here. Okay, so I have that same finger picking pattern cycle. Pluck, in, out, out, in. Now from here, same thing, lift off the ring finger, pluck, in, out, out, in. Now from here, I am going to play a G chord shape, which is basically, essentially a B flat, but my pinky is going to be placed here. This might be a little bit of finger gymnastics, okay? That's going to be on the 7th fret. So it looks like a G shape on the 5th and 6th fret, and then my pinky here is on the 7th fret. Same finger picking pattern cycle. Now from here, this may be a little bit tricky, but keep your ring finger here because we're making a B flat minor shape. Keep the ring finger there. Middle finger is going to be replacing where the index finger was on the 5th fret of the C string. Now my index finger is going to be on the 4th fret of the A string. And thumbkin with that gnarly band-aid, so sorry about that. It's going to curl over the, let's see here, where am I? 6th fret, there you go. And then we have our same finger picking pattern cycle. Okay, let's start from the very beginning of that B section that I call it, where we have our bar chord on the 8th, 9th, and 10th fret. Okay, pluck, in, out, out, in, pluck, in, out, out, in, pluck, in, out, out, in, pluck, in, out, out, in. Now lift off the ring finger. Pluck, in, out, out, in, pluck, in, out, out, in. Now from here, G shape, but it's on the 5th and the 6th fret, pinky, 7th fret. Pluck, in, out, out, in, pluck, in, out, out, in. Now replace your fingers, flip them, so you have that minor shape. Thumbkin curls over. Pluck, in, out, out, in, pluck, in, out, out, in. Now we have 3rd fret. We're going to drop that down to the 3rd fret of the E string. Same finger picking pattern. Now pinky goes to the 5th fret. And then you could use your ring finger or your middle finger. I like to use my middle finger to the 3rd fret. And then we have an F chord. And then we strum that F, and then we have our pinky on the 3rd fret of the A string. So after we've completed the B section, we go back to the A section, the very beginning, and then once we get to the end of the A section, this is what I like to do instead of the boom, ba, ba, like a ba. We're going to drop that down to the 3rd fret of the E string, same finger picking pattern. Now pinky goes to the 5th fret. And then you could use your ring finger or your middle finger. I like to use my middle finger to the 3rd fret. And then here I have my F chord, and I have the same finger picking pattern. And then I slow it down a little bit. 1 and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a nice strum. Let me know in the comment section if you would like to see more of my original music as well, and I'd be happy to share it with you and also teach it to you. If you want to hear the song in its entirety and also a behind the scenes video about how I came to compose this song, I'm going to leave that over here, and I'll see you there. Bye.